All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel After Sound here. And as you can see, I am joined by a very special guest, Godziel. Godziel, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm Godziel. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, After Sound, for having me. Uh, yeah, really glad to be here and joining you on this stream.
I couldn't be more excited. This is the first kind of interview that I've done. Usually it's just me talking to myself on the channel. So it's nice to not just be talking to a wall here. So I appreciate you coming on. And for those who may not know, Godzilla, we connected, I believe, through the Mav chat initially. And obviously once we realized we'd been playing this game for roughly the same amount of time. We both got in August of 2021. We were just going back and forth and thought it'd be fun to have a chat on here, talk about our experiences for anybody who's been playing the game for a while or anybody who's just jumping in. Godzilla, I feel like, has a very unique perspective on a lot of the different things that are happening. So, Godzilla, I'm going to turn it over to you if you want to talk about your experience, because people have heard from me already. They know when I started and all of my opinions,
Yeah,
but how has your journey been? And if you feel free to start wherever you want and go through whatever you want, but very curious to hear how you got into it, where you see the game going, or where you've seen the game come along so far, and where you see the game going.
yep. Yep. Thanks, After Sound. Yeah, I started, I think, like everyone else, just with a $10 spell book. I started back in August 21. I think that was where the game started to pick up and really have that volume coming in of new players. So that's when I got started. I started off with $10, and then I thought, okay, I like the game. Then how about putting in like 200 to get to silver? Because I wanted to get some reasonable earnings from the game. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, all right, 200. But at the point, I was quite hesitant because $200 for a game that's pretty new to me was not an easy decision. So I said
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
okay, let's give it a go. And because I'm playing this game with like a couple of my real life friends, so it's kind of like a FOMO thing. And like, okay, if you do it, I'll do it. So all right, we just
Peer
we jump
pressure.
on. Yeah, peer pressure. So when we got on in silver, things was like, oh, pretty rewarding. You're learning all the new abilities, the new cards, getting some level cards, maybe to level 2, level 3 summoners, and then like, oh, that's fun. And that's when the thought of purchasing SPS came. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I want to get more involved in the game. What should I do? Should I buy cards? Should I buy SPS? Should I wait for Chaos Legion? And then back then, SPS kind of hit us like, oh, the APR is pretty high. It was like
Mm-hmm.
300% and
Mm.
slowly dropping. And we're like, okay, if the price stays about the same, you could make some profits. So we say that, okay, let's go in on SPS. And then I was quite bold. I went in like about 2K SPS
Nice.
straight.
Okay.
And then like I was thinking that, okay, in the meantime, just earn the APR and see where this game goes. And then things escalated quickly from there. And then I top up even more SPS to about maybe 5K on SPS. The reason being because um, there was this FOMO about the Chaos Legion needing vouchers and the vouchers
Mm.
airdrop. And I was thinking that if I were to get into SPS, why not now so that I get more vouchers? And back
Yep.
then, vouchers would like go in for 20 a piece.
More than that. I think I saw them
Yeah,
top at like $30 or something. It's crazy. I kind of wish I'd sold
yeah,
my vouchers, but the past is the
yeah.
past.
To be honest, that's what I did. I sold the vouchers. So I was
Smart
thinking,
man.
okay, our vouchers, one voucher equivalent to like 4 or 5 packs in the general sale. And then I could probably only gotten like 60 to 80 vouchers. So I was thinking that, not that worth it after all. So I sold the vouchers and prepared, like a war chest for the general sale. But when
Mm-hmm.
pre-sale 2, like the second
The
awkward
phase
stage
two,
came
yeah.
about, yeah. And then I was like, vouchers has dipped quite a bit. And then I was thinking that I wouldn't want to miss out on the second and third airdrop. I was thinking like, okay, you could get two at the same time. It's pretty cool, right? So I went in a little bit. I bought about 300 to 350 packs in the phase 2. A bit of FOMO because there were a lot of discussion on whether things will sell out in the first 24 hours,
Yeah.
and so
Oh man.
so that hit me a little bit. So I was like, okay, let's get in a little bit. So just went in for 300 packs or so, and then in general sale, that's when I think, okay, I was thinking of becoming a Maverick, so I say, okay, 1,000 it is, and then I just went for that 1K, and I've bought a little bit more than that after the
After this
general
one, yeah.
sale. Yeah, sometimes you just feel like opening packs, and to be honest, I
Mm.
think my pack luck is pretty lucky. I've been pretty lucky with it. So
Hey, you know
yeah,
what? Just I don't want to jinx you, so I hope it continues.
yeah. Hopefully, if I were to share the stats, I think many Mavericks will come after me, man.
Oh, aggro himself would probably come after you.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool if you open a Go Foil Legendary. That feeling, that
Yeah.
just happiness, and then that adrenaline takes over you. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I've been lucky to have a couple, which they definitely do feel nice. I
Mm-hmm.
have a question for you. Well, there's a couple things that
Yep.
we can go into here, but my my first question is, what was the first card that you bought? And the reason I ask is because it sounds like you came in from the game side and then went into like the investment, understanding SPS, the value
Mm-hmm.
that SPS would have. Whereas it's funny, I took the complete opposite road where I came in as an investor. I was looking at DEC and SPS for potential like price. And then all of a sudden I started playing with the cards and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. So I feel
Mm.
you took the opposite road. So since you were early in on like the cards, what was the first card that you bought? There's got to be a sentimental one.
Uh, a sentimental one.
You don't remember
The
your first card bought? Oh, come on. No, I'm just kidding. What actually, no, I'm gonna hold you to this. What do you remember what the first card you bought was? Or at least the first card, let's say the first card where you were like, oh man, this card leveled up is so good in silver or something like that.
Okay, the card. This may not be the first card I bought. I could have like accidentally clicked and just try buying cards on the platform. But the most sentimental card and the one that I really bought, I knew that I want this leveled. Would be Oyster Roadwell.
Nice.
The Death Summoner with the Magic Reflect. I think it's pretty cool because back in August it was just magic spam by Elric all day. Everyone was just doing it. Like Oceanus, when the new reward cards came out,
Yeah.
magic spam all day.
And,
So
and then when
yeah,
Venari Waysmith came out too, that just added a bunch.
yeah, man, yeah. So Oyster Roadwell leveled. I got him because it's in the dice edition, right? So the card wasn't that cheap. I think it was about 8, 9, $10 at that point of time.
Hmm.
So I got him, and then I still have him today to level 6. So I kept him
Nice.
all the way. Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like he and Milo are probably the two summers that you'd want to bring in for the amplify ability now. It's gotta be
Definitely.
so handy. Cool, man. Well, okay,
Yeah.
so you came in, you became a Mav. I'm curious to see how that experience has been for you. I mean, I think I've been a Mav roughly about the same time. I made the mistake, and I don't want to call it a mistake. I was very FOMO'd in at the
Mm-hmm.
height, and I was like, I want as many vouchers as I can, even though these things are going for like $20 a pop. I don't want to sell them. Like, I'd rather use them.
Mm-hmm.
So I did during the pre-sale, but coming out of that, what has been your experience so far once Chaos Legion has shifted? And I guess yeah, being a Maven, like has this with a leveled up deck, what is the experience in the game like for you going from where you were to where you are now?
Yeah. For me, I think being a math has, this unique attraction, being like recognized in the community, especially with that unique purple name that everyone wants. So, but my goal of being a math was really the opportunity and the chance to interact with the team directly.
Mm,
Because I'm pretty vocal on the math chat because I feel that um, there are things that can be improved upon, and it's also a place where we can share our ideas as players that ultimately with the sole aim of improving the game, improving the community, making it just a better place for new players as well as existing players. So I wanted to have a place to share my views, to help the team if I can, and just as a place of interaction and exchange of ideas. Let's let ideas, let dreams clash, and that's where we can improve the game, improve the community, so everyone benefits. Yeah, so that was
Gotcha.
really why I wanted to be a math.
No, I mean, that's I feel like that's the exact same reason for me. Obviously, I had an added incentive where, obviously the content that I've been putting on in the channel, and it's nice to have a potential line of communication. Not that I've ever interacted directly with the team, but to your point, I think what's fun about the Mav chat is you have, if anybody's going to buy 1,000 packs, they're going to be somebody
Yep.
who's like really excited and passionate about the game, and
Yep.
therefore sometimes everybody's going to have an opinion. Sometimes their opinions are very strong, but
Hmm.
I really believe in the whole, the best ideas win. And I think
Yeah.
that exactly what you said, where everybody can bring their ideas, and usually it's done in a respectful way, and just
Mm-hmm.
trying to find like what is the best route forward for the game. And I feel like it's really the dev team that has created kind of that open environment where people can throw ideas out, and they actually interact with people.
Yep.
So that's been a really cool experience to see. The map chat. The thing is, there's so many new maps that it's hard to keep up with the map chat now. Like I'll go in and there'll be like hundreds of messages.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, hey, more people, more ideas. I think this is gonna sound like super hyperbole, but like it's one of those things where like I feel like the sky is the limit with a game like this, as long as they have the resources and they don't like the ethos, or at least what the team has been trying to do, is very much protect value for the players, right? Everything they've done has been to protect value for the players. So it's just like every idea that they bring about, yeah, sometimes the
Mm-hmm.
execution isn't there, but nobody's going to hit it 100% of the time. But for
Yep.
them, like I really trust what they're trying to do, and I
Mm-hmm.
really want to do whatever I can to help them achieve it.
Yep.
No.
Same. Have the same thoughts. So yeah, the math chats, I would say, pretty flooded recently because
Yeah.
many new maps. But I think the conversations, the dialogues, the arguments there are very constructive. Everyone is willing to share, but at the same time, willing to accept alternative view, alternative opinion, and
Hmm.
just clash, let it clash, reason it out, and yeah, and it's for the team to know to take any actions. And I think you covered in one of your videos just yesterday about the EVT raising some concerns about the vouchers, and that's when Yabamet
Mm.
hop jumped in and shared his view. And I think that's really healthy, and that's what the Mavs wants to see, where when there's some points that's worthy to add on, and Mavs would just jump in to add on to it, you know, and that's really a healthy environment for the game.
I agree. So since we're talking about ideas and bringing things together, I'm curious if you've given any thought to SPS governance, and how you're seeing that. Well, first of all, I guess how since you came into this as a game, how deep are you into like the crypto DeFi world? And there's no wrong answer here, but I'm just curious, based
Hmm.
on your experience with crypto and DeFi, how do you view something like SPS governance and kind of decentralizing that? Because I come from somewhat of like a DeFi or crypto background, so it's exciting
Mm-hmm.
to me. But for casual players, I do wonder, and I'm not saying that you are, but for casual players, I wonder if anybody's even like giving this a second thought. So just curious where you're coming from and what your thoughts
Mm-hmm.
are on this.
So yeah, so I'll just share my view as a perspective of just a casual player and how I see the governance token. Yeah. So to me, I think there needs to be a good spread of the tokens, And in
Mm,
SPS, I think a lot of the tokens are still concentrated in perhaps the top 10% of players, as well as maybe the founding members, as well as players slash support staff, etc. So to me, right now, I can't really see the DeFi element. I can't see it being, everyone has a voice. Yes, you can have some SPS, but I would just feel that, oh, I don't really have much of a say because my SPS percentage is not even 1%, can be 0.1%. And I'll just, I don't feel that this is value to me. I'll be like, okay, I can just click an upvote at one of the uh, choices that they have made
Mm-hmm.
available, and I'll just feel that I'm not gonna affect any percentage or anything, but okay, I'll just put in my vote. Or maybe players that do not have that much SPS would just give it up. Like there's no point. So for me in this DeFi, I feel that for it to really work, you need to the tokens has to be well spread out. You can't have like couple of like whales controlling everything, and you will lose the attractiveness of being a DeFi in the first place. Whereas other players would feel that they will not be able to uh, have any effect on this any decision being made on Splinterlands, and then people will just like not want to participate. I feel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So as the game grows and as more tokens are being minted, if the number of players increase, then I believe the spread uh will be much better. Then maybe people will start believing in this DeFi element and see the value in it. That okay, everyone has a say in any big decision, and I would want, maybe they would think that okay, then I might want to participate. At the same time, I think that coming up with the treasury that belongs to the SPS holders, I think that's a really good move because it gives some sort of a backing to the value of SPS as well. At the same time, it gives some sort of a fund that can be used, and SPS holders can decide on how these funds can be used. And I think people will be interested in that because there is some monetary value involved in
Mm-hmm.
the millions, I would say. So I think people would be interested in that, especially when good decisions are being made and people see that pool or that treasury growing over time. And if that does happen, this would result in the backing of the token to increase over time as well. And then people will see that, oh, okay, the floor of the coin does rise over time. That would attract more investors, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's totally a fair point, and I think one of the things when it comes to like this decentralization is that the assumption is like, oh, it's like a democracy where everybody gets a
Mm-hmm.
vote, but really,
Mm.
really the whales still control it, right? So that
Yep.
the only way that it's decentralized and has value, in my opinion, is the fact that anybody can go buy the token, right? If you're willing to pay the price, whatever the market price of the token, you can go and be a whale. But it's not like
Mm-hmm.
every single player is going to have a vote. So the thing that's exciting for me, and taking this back to the map chat, is that there's a lot of really great ideas that are coming
Mm-hmm.
about, and it's one of those things where casual players, invested players, players who own one SPS token, there
Mm-hmm.
might not be they may not feel that need, or that it has much value. But I feel like what can happen in a game like this, and once you get a certain idea that catches fire, is that there could be the
Mm-hmm.
momentum to get like the entire community behind something. And I feel like the Splinterlands community tends to be some very not tight knit, but very informed in a lot of ways. Like they're very well connected with checking out the discords or Reddit or YouTube, whatever the case is. So I feel like when these ideas pop up, whether they be in the map chat or somebody just puts it in as like a proposal, there could be some really interesting things and movements put together. Again, this is all hypothetical, but that's what
Mm-hmm.
excites me about this, is because it doesn't matter how many coins you have, you'd still be
Mm.
able to jump in. And even if you had a little amount of coins, but you had the best idea, and you're
Mm-hmm.
really good at convincing other people, right? And it's got to be a good idea.
Yeah.
You're not swindling anyone. But that's
Yep.
that's what really excites me, where it's just like, oh, like this person has a great idea, but they have the team to do it, and like it makes sense, and everybody's kind of getting on board. I hope that there's situations like that where it's just everybody feels their value in that way. But
Mm.
I totally understand where you're coming from, and that was my kind of sentiment too, where it's just like, obviously I'm excited about the decentralization aspect of it, although we're not making the cards, so it's never fully decentralized, right? There's always going to be a team, and
Yeah.
the creative team, development team, they're always going to have a certain amount of control. But at the end of the day, I appreciate the fact that they do such a good job of including the community on so many things, where
Yep.
a lot of the games that I've played in the past, it's just like, here's the update, here's version 2, here's version 3, or the new
Yeah.
season, and love it or hate it, this is what you get. I feel
Yep.
like the whole feedback thing here has been a really cool aspect, and it to me it brings the community together a little bit, and makes them more excited to check
For
out these
sure.
AMAs and things. So
Yep.
let's take a left turn here, because this is something that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk to you about, because I'm so bad at it. And I wanted to get your opinion, and maybe some
Yeah.
insight. But you
Sure.
are the leader of the Peakmonsters Guild, and or at least that's what you told me. So what is that experience like? How do you build up a solid guild? Because in my FOMO in the first couple of months playing the game, I teamed up with someone from one of my Twitch streams who had come through, and we started a guild together. And it's just one of those things where, when the price of everything skyrocketed up, I was just like, I'm setting aside my war chest for Chaos Legion, and I told everybody in the guild to do the same. It's just like, we'll get back to the guild once things kind of settle down. And I feel like now they're settling down again, so we can refocus on the guild. But
Yep.
how has that experience been for you? How did you even get to that level? And do you have any tips for people either wanting to join a guild, starting a guild, or all of that?
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, I am the sort of guild leader for Peakmonsters Archon. So, just to share, Peakmonsters, I think it's a platform that you yourself, after sound, use quite often to check out
Hmm.
prices, to place
It's
rentals,
it's great.
to do
It's
bid
great. And
buys.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for supporting, man. So, Peakmonsters have actually 7 guilds that's created by the co-founder Jarvi.
Hmm.
So these are guilds that actually are fully sponsored by Peakmonsters. All you need to do is be a
Oh, cool.
Peakmonsters user to join, and then you will get accepted to one of the feeder guilds. So feeder guilds are just guilds where new members can join, and after they prove themselves that perhaps they are uh, good, does pretty well in brawling, because we
Hmm.
are primarily a brawling guild, and then they will get pushed up to one of the larger guilds above. So right now we have about 7 guilds, and 3 of it are still feeder status. The rest are fully run guilds by guild leaders like myself. So how I joined the guild was that initially I was playing in about in gold 3, silver 1, gold 3, and then I thought that I want to increase my DEC earnings, right? So how do I
Hmm.
go about that? To be more efficient in every single game I play, I can earn and maximize my rewards. So firstly, you can go for gold cards, right? Gold cards gets you the
Yeah.
10% bonus, but it's pretty expensive. So I thought, how about joining a guild? Because there's always this guild bonus, right? At the bottom. So
Hmm.
guild bonus increases based on the uh, guild hall level of a guild. And I think, as you know, the guild hall are extremely expensive to upgrade, in like
Yeah.
100, 200, 300,000 DCs just to get it to maybe guild level 6. Yeah. So most of our Peakmonsters guild are already at guild hall 6, which gives you 7% DEC bonus every single win.
Ooh,
And
that's nice.
that's sort of free if you join the guild. And how do you contribute to the guild? The guild does not expect you to pay DEC as of now. All you need to do is brawl and win. That's easy, right?
That's nice. That's nice.
7% DEC
Yeah.
every win. You just have to contribute by brawling and supporting pig monsters.
So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and toss a bone here to Jarvie and the Peak Monsters team, and to you. How, if somebody wanted to get in, feel free to tell them how. Like, if somebody's interested in joining one of the guilds, how could, like, is there someone they need to get in touch with? Is there a process that they need to go to sign up? Because there's obviously a lot of players who are looking for a guild to join, that are active and probably very good at the game. So just trying to give them a nice handoff into where, since we're on the topic, where and how they can look into this with the Peak Monsters team.
Right. First of all, if you would like to join one of the pig monsters guild, the first thing you gotta do, start using Peakmonsters. Start using the buy function, start using the rent function there, and you can start using the bid function. And I think many YouTubers have been promoting the bid function. It's an amazing way to get a discount on the cards that you have been trying to eye for. And the best thing is you don't have to sit in front of your computer to snipe a card. Just place the bid and go to bed. Wake up in the morning. If you get a good discount, it's all so easy, right? Just place a bid, and you can always adjust the bid as and when the price fluctuates in the market. Yeah. So that's first. Secondly, join the Discord. In every guild, there is a Discord link to join the Peakmonsters Discord. And then once you join, just apply. Just apply to if you're a top, maybe a silver 1 player, gold 3 player with decent cards, you can just apply directly to one of the main guilds like Peakmonsters Archon, Embroyon, Champs, Premier, etc. But if you're just starting out, maybe you're still in silver 3, silver 2, head over to one of the feeder guilds. Just search Peakmonsters in the guild search tab, and then all our guilds will be there. Just apply to our feeder guilds, and our colleagues or our members running the feeder guilds will just accept you in as long as you pass the requirements. Yeah, that is as easy as that. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Well, guys, I wouldn't promote something that I don't use myself. So I know that there's a lot, like Godziel said, there's a lot of YouTubers out there with a lot more Peak Monsters content than me. But I do want to say that I use Peak Monsters daily. It's one of the best way to look at your cards in an organized way. The bid function awesome. The renting CP is awesome as well. And at the end of the day, what I love is the fact that people can create any kind of like third-party tool and just add a tremendous amount of value to the community. So hats off again to Jarvie for setting this up, and the entire Peak Monsters team, which obviously runs down now into the guilds that are kind of fighting under the Peak Monsters banner. So
Yeah.
taking this back then to your experience with the guild, aside from the DEC bonus, it sounded like that was one of the ways that you wanted to get in, or at least one of the incentives. But how has your experience in guilds been so far? And especially now that you're managing one, do you view guilds differently since you have a unique perspective being the leader of one?
Yep. To be honest, running a guild it's not that easy. I think because primarily it takes up time. You got to pay attention to the members who are joining, existing members. You have to check if they're still active or they're taking some time off the game. You have to look to grow the guild at the same time, because we are a brawling guild. We would like to improve on our brawl results over time. And as a guild leader, you have this you're put in an awkward or in a tight position sometimes, where a player goes missing for 3 or 4 days, but you have no idea, has this player left Splinterlands for good, or is it just busy with personal stuff? And sometimes you just got to juggle with that. Do I have to remove him from the guild, or do I just let him stay till he respawns? So sometimes this is a bit of a man management, people management kind of thing. At the same time, you have to pay attention to results, because we are pretty results driven here. We don't expect to be the best, but at the same time, we just expect every member to participate and do their best. That's all. Just do your best, enjoy the game, work together, and especially we want members who would like to contribute and collaborate and help one another, because in brawls, right now you have like maybe 13 phrase, and you have different phrase. Phrase meaning like you have like novice, league, bronze, bronze untamed, gold voice, etc. And you have players taking up the tougher phrase, for example, a silver gold foil. And that's when players who have gold foil cards can delegate some of the cards to him or her to help her with the brawl. And this is just collaborative effort, everyone helping one another
Okay.
to achieve a common goal of just doing better in brawls. So this brings people together, right? Like guilds, the idea of guild is to bring people together, to have a community, a smaller community where we support one another, we learn from one another, and then we just achieve goals, achieve wins together. Yep. So I think being in a Peakmonsters Guild, a lot of pressure on funding and the monetary side has been lifted off, because Peakmonsters supports the guild. So for me, I just have to focus on running the guild, improving, and that's about it. I don't really have to, worry or think too much about the financial part of, oh, how much DEC I have to charge my members so that we
Yeah.
can save up a kitty so that we can,
Hmm.
upgrade the hall, for example. So this part of worries have been lifted off my shoulders. So I just focus on running the guild, and yeah.
Which I'm sure is still a handful, just managing all the different people. But no,
It's okay.
I think that's awesome. Obviously, we've just speaking about our guild. Initially, we wanted to
Hmm.
create something that was easily accessible for people, so we weren't charging anyone. And now,
Yeah.
kind of the step that we've taken, which I'm not even enforcing at this point because we have so much to do in terms of revamping our guild. We've had members who've been inactive for like 2 months now, right? People who got in maybe around the same time that myself and Ashes did, and have just kind of fallen off the game. So there's been a lot of like
Hmm.
cleaning out and then trying to
Mm.
figure out, okay, what what does it look like for us from here? Because the financial part is still
Mm.
a big thing for us. I think we're only at a level 2 hall and lodge right now,
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
main reason for that was I just wanted to start getting something, right? I'm gonna be playing
Yeah.
so many ranked battles, 1%, or I think 2% at a level 2 lodge, like that compounds over time. 2% here,
Adds up. It
2%
adds
there.
up for sure. Yeah.
So obviously, the higher percentage, the better. But
Yep.
that is kind of where we're looking now. So I'm not officially recruiting with this video, but keep your if anybody's looking for another guild, I would highly recommend. I'm not trying to downplay our guild, but I would highly recommend the Peakmonsters Guild, just because obviously there's a lot of experience there. But if you're
Mhm.
looking to join a bunch of other people who have no idea what they're doing, then Song of the Phoenix might be for you.
For sure. Start somewhere, man. Get that
Yeah.
extra DC and link up with more players, different players, get to know more people and learn from one another. Yeah, that nothing to lose, I would say.
And that's actually one of the big things too, is we created a separate Discord channel just
Mhm.
for the guild. And the entire reasoning for this is like I wanted to be surrounded by like-minded individuals, like people who are just as passionate about the game. Doesn't matter what
Mhm.
level you're at, but just other
Yep.
people who wanted to come through. And it's been hit or miss because some of the folks did join the Discord and some of the folks didn't. So
Yeah.
it's like that team management. And what I would actually really love, um, is they've been talking about better in-game messaging, and I feel
Yep.
like
Yep.
within the guild that would be a really cool area, because then you could build solid communities within the game rather than having to go to an external platform.
Yeah. Right now there is in the Tavern where you can have your
Hmm.
guild chats and stuff, but I think it's more of like a player choice. Players right now are not that willing to chat in game. They're not willing to share so much of themselves. I think one being because the game is, we have such a diversified group of players all around the world. So perhaps I think not everyone is like a native English speaking or speaker.
Hmm.
So language could be a barrier. I think that would be the biggest barrier, in my opinion, to why players are not commenting that much or not even participating much in the Discord channels because of language. Because I think
Hmm.
a lot of our players, some of them are like from Philippines, maybe South America, some in Central Europe, and there is huge differences in culture and languages. So, I accept unless you're like a English, you're good in English, you're English speaker, then people would communicate a little bit more. If not, people tend to just do their own thing and participate but not speak up or just choose not to chat. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, totally understand, and not trying to put anybody in an uncomfortable position. I think it's just one of those things where initially we felt that Discord would be an easier way to have
Hmm.
just kind of organized conversation. The tavern's okay, but it's just I feel like I'm on Discord 24/7 now. It's one of my
Hmm.
most used apps, just because it's just the easiest way to keep up with so many different things. So that's why we're trying to
Yep.
push people to Discord. But yeah, no, I totally understand. totally understand where that is coming from. So you mentioned that you're playing in. So I don't know anything about phrase and all that, so I'm gonna need to go and learn about that and hopefully do a guild video at some point in the future. But taking it back to ranked battles, you're playing in Gold 1 now. It sounds.
Yep, I am.
What is that experience like, and are you dipping into Diamond at all for like end of season? Because I just made my way into Gold. I'm playing in Gold 3,
Mhm,
but I'm just
mhm.
curious what it's like at Gold 1, and if you ever hop into Diamond and see what the waters are like in Diamond.
Mm. So yeah, right now I'm in Goal 1. I'm at the
I'm sorry, Gold 1, yeah.
2800 rating, thereabout to 2008. Um, Last season and the seasons before, I've been just averaging Goal 2, Goal 1 because power is an issue and
Yeah.
power is
Okay.
expensive. So for me, when I play, I look at to maximize my earnings and profits. I try not to rent as much as I can, except for specific cards. So I've been trying to, live on organic power that I have or that I can reach with minimal rental. So
Mhm.
past few seasons, I've been just like go 3, go 2, and happy with that. But because of the Chaos Legion packs that I've opened, I have sufficient power for Go 1 naturally and almost touching Diamond 3. So in terms of gameplay, I am comfortable at Go 1 right now because
Mhm.
I have a level 6 Oyster and a couple of level 5 Summoners. So Goal 1 is achievable and attainable for me. I can stay at Goal 1 pretty okay. However, with my rating, I see that I can hit Diamond 3, right? But I am thinking about it of maybe just do a end of season push to Diamond 3 and just end there so that I can get the season rewards at Diamond 3. I think it's 10
Would you do
extra
a
chests.
rental to get the power?
I think I have enough power
You might
for
have enough
now.
power. Okay.
Yeah, but I've not, advanced to Diamond 3 yet.
Got
So
it. Okay.
I got several considerations. So first is, if you end in gold, you restart the season back in silver. And with that, when you join tournaments, the entrance fee is much lower. So I play a bit
Yeah.
of a tournament like Blunderbuss, Cobalt Mining, Zen Sports. So the entrance fee is in SPS. It kind of hurts if you're in gold.
Yeah,
The
they
entrance fee is
increase it by a
really
lot if
high.
you're in Gold. Yeah.
Mm. But if you're in silver, it makes sense as long as you're like top 64, you make your money back. So it leaves, you can just enjoy the tournament for what it is, play the game, and it makes just a little bit more fun in the game. But if I were to end in diamond, then I think I will reset in gold 3. Then
Probably, yeah.
I
I
will
think
not
so.
be able to join that many tournaments because it would just not make any sense because
You'd have to start off losing like your first 10 games just to get down to silver.
yeah. Yeah. So that's my hesitation on moving up to diamond or ending the season in diamond. But perhaps for this season I might do it because I think there is some restructuring in terms of tournaments. So I don't think there'll be many tournaments being hosted the next week or so.
Yeah.
So maybe I will just do the jump in diamond 3 tomorrow, if depending on my rating, and yeah, just
Well,
any diamond 3
also
perhaps.
there's chaos packs now available, and
Yeah. Yep.
the
Yep. Yep.
higher leagues you are, the higher chance of getting it. So I would
Right. I
say
think that's a huge.
yeah. And actually this is something I wanted to get into with you, but we
Mhm,
were talking offline about the new rewards economy and figured we'd save the conversation here. How are
Yep.
you feeling about that? I know it's a very broad question, but what are your initial thoughts on that, and the changes that have been announced and the potential
Mhm,
changes that are coming, which sound like they could be even bigger than what's been announced so far?
Yep. I think the most recent update regarding putting the packs into uh daily rewards and season shares, right? I think this topic has kind of been forgotten. To be honest, I've forgot about it because I knew it was something that happened back in Untamed and back in like earlier on, maybe
Hmm.
last year. But I think this topic just dropped off somewhere and started when they passed this update like just yesterday or day before. It was pretty shocking to me as well, and I think it hyped up the community at once more. Getting it gives people that belief, that hope that I can get a Chaos Legion pack just by playing, and that brings back the play to earn, the earn part into Splinterlands. I feel because I think
Mhm.
there was a period of time where players in the Silver League don't have much to work towards, or they don't see much benefits because I do have an alt account in silver, and the DECs there I think is per game is 0 point something. I think like 0 point something DEC.
Silver is rough, yeah. I mean,
So
bronze was rough, but silver's just as rough now too, I feel.
yeah, I think okay, that's because together with the dipping prices of DEC, right?
Mhm.
The daily DEC being given out has reduced tremendously.
Yep.
So silver feels unrewarding for the last 2-3 weeks. It has been tough, and I feel that many people could drop off the game because of it. And with Chaos Legion back in chairs, this lifts the entire Silver League up. I feel like every day if I play, I open my daily chest, it gives me like 3 to 4 USD guaranteed if I open a Chaos Legion pack, right? And
Yep.
if I'm just playing casually, it gives me that hope of opening a free pack and I might get a go for a legendary. And this brings that hope that players love, that opening
Yeah.
packs, the feeling of getting new cards, playing with new cards, and just being rewarded for your time. I think that this is a huge update that could drive more people to start coming back. People who have dropped off may come back at the same time, bringing new players into the game.
I agree very much with you. That's it's something I've been wanting to make a video on as well, which is just like the rewards from DEC and playing have just been reduced so dramatically with the price of
Hmm.
DEC coming down, so therefore the issuance rate.
Yep.
So this idea of adding kind of like it's like a casino roulette effect, right? Where it's just now you
Yep.
can actually get something really, really good. Obviously, before there was a small chance of getting a gold foil legendary rewards card. But now you
Yep.
can get a pack, which is even more exciting, right? Where you can get a bunch of these chaos cards and you're guaranteed to get 5 cards, with a rare card being the the minimum that you'd be getting.
Mm.
So I think it's great, and I think the other part of the rewards where they're saying that they're really incentivizing people to level up as much as possible by increasing the percentage is great. And I wonder how they're gonna, I wonder how they might restructure DEC or ranked battles or whatever, and if they implement SPS rewards as well. That'll be
Hmm.
something interesting to see in the future, just because there's so many folks. I'm not one of them, although I feel like I should have started doing it. But it's just like you get to a certain level, and then you actually earn more, like renting your cards out, right? If you just want to
Right.
chill for the
Right.
rest of the season.
Hmm.
But me, I have an addiction problem. I just love playing the game. So I just, even though I'm getting like 1 or 2 or 3 DEC per win, it's just I do it because I love the game, and I don't feel like renting my cards out. So I feel
Hmm.
like what they're trying to do is incentivize more people to be addicts like me, where
Hmm.
they can just say the more you play, the more potentially that you earn, right? Which is kind of counterintuitive to ECR, because
Yep.
that drops. But I do wonder how they'll incentivize people to increase it as they go along. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like I cut you off. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add about the rewards economy or upcoming rewards.
No, I think in terms of the leveling up of going higher and higher leagues, I think yeah, I share the same thoughts as you. Um, Previously, I think the gap between silver and gold is huge. Like
Hmm.
to get in silver, perhaps it's just 200-300 USD or even lesser, and you can be in silver comfortably. But to get to gold 3 and stay there at a sustainable level, you're talking maybe thousands of USD, perhaps. Yeah, before Chaos Legion for sure, and maybe now it's like half. I'll say, but the gap is too big back then. I think it's too big. People just look at it and say, nah, maybe there are people who rent and play just
Mm-hmm.
to get into
Get
gold,
up there.
but no one's the percentage of players thinking that it's a realistic goal is really tiny, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So there needs to be a motivation, a goal, something that to look forward to, and something that is attractive enough to say, hey, perhaps if I put in 1,000 now, I can get my money back in over a period of time of playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when as I keep playing and I can, get some of my initial investment back, or even get money back to buy even more cards, to go even higher, to get even more rewards. It needs to be progression. Yeah, progression is a very important like psychological factor of players to get involved in the game. Just like you
Mm-hmm.
want to play, but why? One is you play for rewards. Two, I play to get better, right? There needs to be
Yeah.
progression. But if there's no progression, people would just drop off and say, nah, I might try something else, and they would just leave the ecosystem as a whole. So
Yeah.
with the team with the team focusing on this again, it's a very good testament to them realizing how important is it to introduce progression at the same time to keep players within the ecosystem and something to fight for. And I think they are looking into how to make it more sustainable, more achievable, so that people can have that gradual climb, that wouldn't feel that the ceiling is too high and say, I
Mm-hmm.
can, I can get there, I can get there, and then I'll just keep improving. So I'm really like happy that the team is looking into this, taking it really seriously. Uh, and I think the updates just proves that they have given it serious thoughts. And I have trust, like full trust in Yabamet. I think he is a top guy. Like his reasoning, his analysis, and his vision,
Mm-hmm.
top, like top. So I have full faith in him. Yeah.
Well, I agree with that sentiment, and I'm actually I'm actually I don't know if you watched the town halls, but I'm really
Mm-hmm.
happy that Hardpoint has come in and taken so much off of his plate, because I feel like
Yep.
now Matt can actually just focus on being the product designer. I think that's what his role is, right?
Yep.
CPO.
CPO.
So
Mm-hmm.
he can just focus on making the game as amazing as it can be, right? With where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the administrational or technical stuff is taken off by Hardpoint.
Hard
So
point.
that
Yep.
just everything that's been happening like that. Every time I watch a town hall, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
the energy there has been a lot of fun. And it makes me really optimistic about where the team is going, because I try to explain this to actually several people, and I'm just like, it's almost like investing in a startup, because it's not,
Yep. It
yeah,
is.
sure, it's a crypto game, an NFT game, and yeah, but like we get to see sneak peeks at the team and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. So it's like being on the unofficial board, right? When you're invested in SPS, it's like being on the unofficial board for this startup game in a very, very hot and rising industry. So it's not
Yep.
a perfect analogy, but it definitely, that's how I view it.
Yep, definitely. I personally work in a startup, a unicorn startup, and
Fun.
I feel
Okay.
that the vibes are pretty much the same. And I strongly believe that the product, the game, can only be as good as the team is. That's it. That's really how it is. The game can only be as good as
As a
how
team.
strong the team is. And I think Splinterlands has a hell of a good team, to be honest. Like they are really good, they are very accountable, and they don't make decisions like hastily, and they have good, leaders and visionaries in the team, which
Hmm.
really I can see the game going pretty far. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I very, very much agree with you. And just going back to the rewards thing, I think you hit the nail on the head, where it's just like they focusing on this at this time, I feel like was really, really important. And there's a couple things that have come
Hmm.
together that I feel like will be very vital
Hmm.
for the community to continue growing, because the reduced rewards, like the price of DEC and SPS coming down, therefore less DEC, I think that's actually a
Hmm.
very real threat to make people leave, right? For people who are
Yep.
trying to earn something in the game, if it's just not worth your time anymore and you're going to be playing for, common rewards cards that, I open all my chests and I have like 5 common reward cards that are each 3 cents, and it's just like,
Yep.
I just put in 30 minutes playing this game, or 40, however long it takes. It doesn't feel worth it sometimes, right? Obviously,
Yep.
for me, it's different because I'm creating content around this, and it's taken over my life in some ways. But for the casual player, what you want for people at any level is to feel like exactly what you said, like they're progressing in the game,
Yep.
and no matter how much time they put in, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, or an hour a day, or if they're, people who are doing this as a full-time job, you want them to feel like they are getting some value out of the game. So I feel like them
Definitely.
focusing on the rewards and Chaos Agent coming out and not
Mm-hmm.
selling out was really
Yep.
important, because now
Yes.
it's actually easy to get up into silver and gold. The
Yep.
cards are not that expensive in terms of like where we were a couple of months ago. So, for
Yep.
people who are willing to take the leap and say, yeah, I like the game. I like the game for what it is. So I'm going to buy some cards. I'm going to buy some packs and play it out. This is a great time. And if they can get this rewards thing nailed down, and, obviously it'll never be perfect, but as long as they can get something solid out and then continue to tweak it as we go along.
Yep.
If Bitcoin goes bear, no matter really what happens in the traditional or crypto markets, the game could still be very rewarding for people as they go along and play. Feel like they can get something out of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I think so. Like in terms of the rewards, like I have this feeling that the current situation is there's some resemblance to when it was back in August. Because back in August when I just started, when you open your daily rewards, you could get like 2,000 DEC, 10,000 DEC, 7,000 DEC. Sometimes what you see people on Discord showing 30,000 DEC, and
yeah.
that's when it start getting people hooked because wow, you thought that wow, that's like 20 USD just like that. And
hmm
that's when that was, the growth was at its peak in August. And I see some resemblance now, even though it's not at that scale, because the game has to be sustainable, right? That's not
Yeah.
sustainable, to be very honest. And now getting a pack in the rewards, people feel that they are being rewarded, they will stay, and more people will join in. When you see
hmm
results, people will want to say, I want a piece of that cake, I want a piece of
Yeah.
that pie, let me join. What does it take? $10 spell book. All right, I'm in. And
hmm
things get started from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to your point, I've been seeing nonstop posts on Discord and Reddit where it's just like, hey, I got my first chaos pack in a reward chest, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it reminds me
Yeah.
of just like I need to go in and do my daily quest today. Like, we'll
Yeah.
see if my luck is as good. Um, oh, cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to wrap things up. Let's talk about
Yep.
this. Let's talk about something a little bit more speculative. We don't know much about it, but you did
Okay.
mention it
Sure.
as something that you wanted to chat about, which is land. So I've given a bunch of
Yeah.
thoughts on land, so nobody wants to hear from me anymore. What are you excited about with land? Do you own any? If you only if you're comfortable sharing, if you own any,
Sure.
or if you're planning to get some, and what you see with land coming up.
Yep. Personally, I own one plot. Unfortunately, I wish I owned a tract or a region, but
I know,
no.
right?
I was only able to get a single plot from Hive Engine. So I think even in Splinterlands, like there is some form of diversification that you can take into consideration while playing the game, whether
hmm
you go into cards, whether you hold DEC, hold SPS, or hold land, or hold packs, right? That I mean, you've covered all these topics in all your videos, and land is the up and coming blockbuster of the year for Splinterlands, I believe, and I believe it's going to be huge, and I just want to be part of it. I don't want to look back 6 months and say, ah, damn, I should have gotten a piece of land. Now it's like, how many eggs, how many times, it's so expensive, I can't get in, So I just want to diversify the assets
hmm
within Splinterlands, and so that, even though I'm not like a whale, but I just want to participate in every little bit that I can. And also for land is maybe not so much of on my part, not so much speculative or looking at how I can get back my returns, etc. It's more like because the resources are going to be used for equipment cards, spell cards, etc. That's something that I would need as a player myself. So I thought like getting land and that would benefit me directly, not a bad deal, right? Like, yeah, I'm not really into speculating land and how expensive you'll go, or how expensive the rewards are gonna be, such that you can sell and make money. I'm not dwelling too much into that. It's more like I just want to participate, so I'll just get one plot of land now and see where it goes. But I'm very excited for it. But the main reason is being the company can actually make lots of profit from land, but they are not. They have chose to let the community earn, right? Because
Yeah.
all the resources can only be obtained from landowners, and this is huge from a gaming and crypto perspective, where that companies are choosing not to keep the rewards for themselves, but making a conscious decision to say no, the community should benefit from this and let the market run on its own. I think that's huge, and to me, I see it as also like an experiment, a real life experiment of how this would go, and yeah, just want to be part of it. And
Well,
land
that's
is
fair. Yeah.
pretty affordable now. I would say like 400,
Yeah.
or even
It
sometimes
it
dipping
dips
below
it
4.
dips under 400 sometimes too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a high at 800, 900. Yeah, and people were buying at that point. So I think, yeah, not financial advice, but if you're ever considering, yeah, just do it in the perspective of being involved, being to participate in the game, and yeah.
I mean, I think that's a perfect way to look at it. Yeah, it's just, I've had one plot for the longest time. I bought it back in October when I first learned about land, and then
Mm-hmm.
rediversified some of my assets to buy a second plot once the prices came down. So
Mm.
definitely not a land baron in this game either. But it's just one of those things where, like you said, it's not even. I actually don't even think about how much land is going to be worth or how much
Yep,
value I'm
same.
going to be able to extract from land, right? That to
Exactly.
me, that to me, and I'm sure, and I don't fall or look down on anybody that is looking at it like that. That's a totally fair point. But for
Yep.
me, it's just like I just want to be part of the ecosystem, right? Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, there's 150,000 plots. I
Mm-hmm.
do believe this game, obviously there's a ton of bots with the 3 to 400,000 daily users, but
Yep.
long run, I do believe this game is going to grow tremendously. And even if it just does
Mm-hmm.
a small gain, which would be something like 10x, like 1 million, 2, 3 million players,
Mm-hmm.
like there's not enough land to go around, and I'm happy that I own at least two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least one plot, and I'm able to be part of the economy there because
Yep.
like I said, sky's the limit. I feel like there's a lot of really really cool things that can be done within the Splinterlands metaverse or Splinterverse, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
land is obviously something that they're very excited about, and you kind of nailed it earlier, saying that this is the big thing for this year. This is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the big launch. I feel like everybody's excited for Rift Watchers, but Rift Watchers is just a mini set, and it's going to be fun, but it's not going to be literally game changing in the way that land will be. So
Yeah.
definitely
Definitely.
a good thing to take a look at. And like you said, it's a good warning for people too. Don't FOMO into something.
Yep. Yep.
Just kind of take that perspective. But
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla, this has been so much fun. It is
Yep.
so nice to, one, actually chat with you, and two, so nice to not just be chatting with myself. So it was great to have you on. I don't know if there's any closing thoughts you want to leave us with, or if people want to connect with you. Don't put out any information that you don't want. You don't want to get the hug of death, right, from people reaching out to you. Although you did give the Peak Monster stuff earlier, so I don't know if you want to repeat that, or if there's anything else that you want to just close out here. The floor is yours.
Yep. Yep. I mean, like, huge thanks to you, After Sound, for having me here. I think this is my first time, being recording a video or being live. I think it has been a very fun, engaging session with you. Really enjoyed. Really comfortable here. Um, yep. Just shout out to Peakmonsters. Any player who wish to join us, just join our Discord. Send us a request to join as a guild member, and then yep, you'll see me hanging out. Maybe hanging out with After Sound in the Mav chat. Yeah. You can ping me if you want to chat. I'm from Singapore, so any Singaporean fans out there, players out there, please hit me up. We can have a Singapore communities.
There's
Cool.
got to be a Splinterlands Singapore community. Singapore is nice and compact. You got to get a community up
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. Hopefully, just trying to reach out to as many as I can, and at the same time, those who have do like and subscribe to After Sound, support him, support our Splinterlands content creators as much as you can. It will help the entire community and the game as well. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, and like I said, I appreciate you coming on. Your perspective on this game has been a lot of fun for me to get to know first through chatting and now through here.
Sure.
So I hope we can do a
Mm-hmm.
round 2 at some point, maybe when there's another
Yep.
major update. Would love to
Mm-hmm.
get your perspective, and I'm sure many of the folks in the community would love that as well. So thank you again for being on, guys. You know where to find him, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.